All the links to the original posts are given in the description. So now let's head straight to the video.
I feel my husband doesn't love me or our children anymore. I don't know how to handle this. My husband and I have been married for 2 years now. Everything was great until I got pregnant, and now that the babies are here, I think he feels trapped. I definitely wanted kids more than him, but our babies were indeed planned. We were very excited when we found out I was pregnant. Things were going very well until I was diagnosed with pregnancy complications at the start of my 3rd trimester and was put on bed rest. This meant I could no longer do most things around the house like laundry and dishes and cooking. It also prevented me from being able to watch over his other 2 kids as they needed active supervision. So, my husband began doing pretty much everything. I can't tell you how many times I apologized for not being able to help, and I continuously expressed my appreciation for all the extra work he was doing. I felt incredibly guilty as I was in bed all day while he worked crazy long hours and then came home to manage dinner, children, etc. He was exhausted for sure. Not to mention, bed rest meant zero intimacy. But as time went on, I started to feel as if he was starting to resent me because of the situation. I don't think he meant to, but he was just frustrated with everything landing on his shoulders. He also started answering any pregnancy tiny complaint I had with, "Well, you were the one who wanted to have kids." He insisted he was not upset, that this line was just a joke. But I don't believe that. I could feel the frustration, and it got to the point where I started breaking bed rest rules to help with chores. Still, I noticed he stopped wanting to watch Netflix with me. He didn't say I love you like he used to. He barely kissed me. Everything was initiated by me. Hell, I even researched topics he enjoyed to have a conversation with him he'd enjoy, and he ignored me. And when I offered what intimacy I could without breaking the bed rest rules, he turned me down after nearly 3 months of no intimacy. I gave birth early and our kids went through a very traumatic NICU experience. Illness, near death, shitty doctors, etc. It was so rough on both of us. However, things continued to get worse. My husband tried to go out with friends all night the first night my son came home. I have never stopped him from going out with his friends until this moment. I was furious. He nearly made me Uber with one baby to see the other in the NICU because he said he didn't have time to drive us to the hospital. He did end up canceling some things so we could go, but only because I wasn't going to be home to watch his oldest 2. He told me he isn't going to bond with our babies until they're like 6 months because he finds them boring right now. He constantly talks of burdens in his life. The babies and I are included a lot here. How he has to manage the doctors and insurance and golf paperwork. How he has to keep taking us to visit the doctor. Everything we need from him seems to just be a burden. He told me my stress is nothing compared to his because I'm just taking care of babies one. Never mind the postpartum struggles, recovering from my children almost dying, living thousands of miles away from my family. He only engages with the babies when his other kids are over at our house. I love his kids. I've considered them as mine since the beginning. But it's starting to feel like they're number 1 and the rest of us are more like number 6 or 7. I have to literally fight with him to hold the babies. Not even feed or change their diaper. Just hold them. He talks to his ex-wife more than he talks to me right now. Granted, he hates her. But how is it that she hears his voice more than me? And he lets her rule his life no matter the impact it has on the rest of us. He's gone to bed without so much as a good night. He doesn't spend more than maybe an hour at most with me or the babies, and we are lucky if we get that from him. He works late, but then he spends his time home working more, talking to friends, and sleeping. He traveled for work and I mentioned that our bed felt empty without him in it, trying to initiate a sweeter moment like the ones we used to have. All he said was, "I'm sorry." He told me to go buy my own birthday present. I don't even know how to do that with 2 newborns. We didn't celebrate my birthday due to my bed rest aside from having cake. He spent the entire night away afterwards. This isn't the man I married. I know he is busy and tired and overworked, but he seems to have energy for everyone except our babies and me. I can hear him laughing on the phone with his friends and coworkers and family, but he's stone-faced at home. I feel we are one straw away from the end. I just want the band-aid to rip off already so I can not cry so much about it. I love him. I moved across the world for him, but I no longer feel he loves me back. Our anniversary is next week. I haven't said anything as I want to see if he even remembers. My PP restrictions end next week too, but I don't think he even cares. He doesn't even look at me much anymore. And honestly, I don't think he would care if I packed my bags and carried those babies back to my country. I want to be wrong. But this can't just be a result of being overworked or tired. Something is wrong, and I am almost sure it has to do with our family, with me and our babies. I don't know how to bring this up. I'm almost just waiting for the snap where one of us finally loses it. Because right now we are just silent, and that scares me more than fighting. I just don't know how to fight about this. I don't even know if it's worth fighting for. I can't live like this for much longer. I just can't. If it were just me, maybe I could take it. But if he's going to not love our kids, then we have to leave. They don't deserve to feel secondary. I won't allow it. I just don't know what to do. Few responses from the community. Response 1. I'm curious how old his children from the precious marriage were when you two met. He's great with them now, but he hates his ex. How was he with his ex when they were first born? Is that resentment due to the way he treated her initially? I may be extremely off, but it's worth a thought. Response 2. You wrote an essay explaining how your husband's behavior shows a lack of love and care towards you and the children. You do not need advice, you answered your own question. Now you need to ask yourself why you tolerate him. Response 3. Unfortunately, your experience is too relatable. There are staggering statistics that show men leaving wives when these get sick and not able to take care of them or their kids. Is he tired of parenting? We all get tired. Is it a reason to become a jerk to you? No, it's not. You have done nothing wrong and you shouldn't feel guilty for anything. These things happen and your babies are yours as they are his. I would like to give you hope, but I don't see any in the horizon, especially if is involving a third party. I would recommend therapy as well, but just for you not to lose your mind and to keep you sane. If you can afford it, leave him and provide love and care to your babies. If you can't, you can try one more time to talk to him and get him close. However, in my experience, this kind of things are just a ticking clock. Good luck. Response 4. I wish more people understood exactly what having children can do both to a marriage and to the parents before making that decision. You guys are having a rough go of it, and it sounds like you both could use some help. Is his family nearby to watch the babies for a little while? If not, can you afford a nanny? You guys need some time to reconnect away from your house, like an afternoon and an evening away. At least, rent a hotel room in town. Go out for a nice dinner. Keep the conversation focused on something other than the kids. Let him see you as a woman again, not just a mom. Acknowledge him for all the work he's done for the last few months. Tell him how much you appreciate him. Ask about his work. Ask about his friends. Maybe just talk about where you'd like to go on your next vacation. If you can afford some help in the home, you should get it. Once home becomes a place that is less stressful for him, he'll begin to connect with the babies. Forcing him to connect with them won't work. Response 5. While usually I would say leave, I think that if you still want to make it work, couples counseling may improve the situation. I think you are 100% right. He sounds like he is resentful of you and of you guys' children. It is not as uncommon as you might think to feel extremely alienated from babies, though. He may still be a good father as they move more from floppy toy category into tiny person. There is no doubt in my mind that your experience was extraordinarily traumatic, but suffering is also not a contest. You saying you appreciated him while you were on bed rest likely did nothing to suit the stress, and some of his avoidance of you guys' children may actually be about his own trauma around the difficult birth. I don't think you should make decisions about staying or going right now. Many new parents truly hate each other in the months spent dealing with newborns. If you like the story, hit the like and don't forget to subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.